Hi, Kaylee. So I'm sitting here with your session plan in front of me, and I'll just go through it and give you some feedback. So I think your problem question is very clear and focused. How might Plains Midstream develop an industry-leading compliance program? Great. And then, great job paying attention to how you're setting up the room. Um, and nice timelines in terms of getting everyone settled in to discuss, to sign the forms, and then to discuss CPS and the ground rules. I like that you're drawing it on the board. I think that's actually a really nice touch. It's a small thing, but it actually shows your own ownership and personal connection of the model to the participants, so that it doesn't become sort of just a distant artifact. It's something that you've created. So that was nice. In terms of, so next you go into, so after the introductory stuff, which takes about 25 minutes, which is appropriate, you go into clarifying and assessing the situation, and you're talking about what are the key factors in the situation that we should be aware of. I thought it was great that you then look at specific questions. What are the team members' observations of the current state of compliance? What are we doing well? And I think but you also have the five W's and an H. So I think you want to make very clear which questions you're asking. So either you'll be asking who, what, when, where, how questions, or you'll be asking the questions you have. But you want to focus that. Also, please be aware that some of your questions, like what are some of our biggest obstacles and what do we spend our time fixing, that's actually what you would be doing during formulating challenges. That's the goal of formulating challenges, to say, okay, here's our challenge. What are our big obstacles? What are the specific subproblems? So we'll need to focus in on solving those. So you might want to consider what exactly you're doing in assessing the situation up front that you're not then doing later. The goal isn't to go through all of clarification up front. So, but on the other hand, you do want to collect the key facts, and you might ask you might either use five W's and an H or ask some broad questions. So it's just converging here for yourself around exactly what you're asking in this point and what you want to derive from it. So then, wouldn't it be nice if, wouldn't it be awful if, and yes, I think thinking about where you're going, what's the vision, is a good idea. I'm curious about how exactly you'll facilitate it. Is it going to be individuals sticky notes, or is it going to be just everyone giving their ideas at once in the group? Up to you, but just get that to that degree of specificity. And then, okay, so then you'll use success zones to converge. And so again, you'll really want to think about the facilitation. What will you be physically drawing this on the board? How's this going to work? Okay, so then great that you scheduled a break in there and sort of give everyone gave everyone a chance to step away. As Andrea pointed out, I think at this point it becomes a bit confusing in clarification. So the BHAG typically results from exploring the vision. So you have the vision out there, so all your wouldn't it be nice is if, and then that leads you to, okay, this is where we want to go. This would be our BHAG, our big hairy audacious goal. You don't have to have a BHAG, right? You just, the goal is to sort of have a vision of your future state, and you might do that, like you said in your comments, that you might get rid of the BHAG. You don't really need it. The goal of formulating challenges is to say, okay, usually when we're trying to solve a problem, we're often focusing on the wrong problem, right? And so the goal here is, what are all the various ways we might frame the problem in order to make sure that we're focusing our attention in the right direction? So I don't know enough of your situation around developing an industry-leading compliance program, but if I think about it, the challenge might be, if you think, You know what? And I don't know enough about your situation to know, what the possible sub problems or root problems might be that you actually want to address. But that's what you're doing in formulating challenges. So I don't know the answer here, but if you, I think you want to ask the question, how much do you want to modify the problem statement? Do you want people to sort of really just change the wording here or there, or do you want people to say, actually, the real problem isn't the compliance program, it's actually the communication between departments, and that's why we're not able to come up with a compliance program. So that will, depending on what you decide there, will really change the direction of your practicum, because if you're deciding that you really want to delve into the real sub challenges, that will take time, right? Um, and that's what the webbing exercise does. So that's your choice. So then you get into exploring ideas and brainstorming. And at this point, you know what? Sorry, I realized that I stopped reading there, and so let me just I will shoot a second video.